Hey, my name's Will, BridgeworksGames.com. This is my buddy Luke. We are working on a tank shooter game. And last video we did a bullet, got it flying through the sky, and now we're going to make it impact a turret. You know, enemies. It's our first introduction to enemies. So before we can make it impact, we need to make the enemy. We'll go to the Unity Asset Store, we'll grab one, and we'll make it work for a game.
We get like an orc.
We're gonna do a turret right now that shoots back at us. We can throw in orcs later though. Sure, you know, just like traveling through.
That's fine.
I ain't judging. Take your time. You don't need to yell. You're all caps.
Perfectly calm.
You're all caps.
I've been writing a lot of SQL.
All right.
I actually have been.
Let's look at turret. I have a specific one that I got.
Where's free?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Pricing. Free.
And then click the 3D option too.
3D.
Yeah, I didn't change anything. Yeah, keep going down. There's one particular. There it is. Yeah, see those Megatoons? There's 3 of them. Pretty much the same thing. You can grab whatever one you want.
Ones? Those are kind of like medieval knight turrets, though.
Yeah, we can always change it. Let's grab one of those for now because I know that it's going to do what we need.
Okay.
And then we can
Assets.
find some other ones later on. Stylize the way we want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like what you got going on today. There's something different. It's your beard, I think. Did you trim your beard?
Yeah, I trimmed it.
You are good to go.
Sweet.
All right. This one is, it says mesh. Yeah, you got it. And we'll go to prefabs. And yeah, drag and drop it in. Either into, there you go.
Whoa. It's huge.
It's kind of big.
0.75. That's probably still going to be too big. That's more like it, right? Or do you want smaller?
That's great. I think it's about what I had in mind.
Okay.
The only hesitancy we might have is if you notice the turret is higher on theirs. It's higher up off the ground. It's really not a problem. We can make our collision box on our tank. We can put it above our head, and that would be the easiest way to do this. Or we can ignore that and do what you're doing. Yeah, that works too.
Well, I kind of like... No.
Let's do a mesh collider. It'll be fine. There you go. Mesh colliders are like a box collider, but it actually molds to the mesh render. So rather than being a cube, it actually will go in and out and kind of flex itself around and wrap itself around the object. A little more precise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why we don't do that for everything?
Sometimes you want a box collider to be smaller than the tank or smaller than the mesh around the tank. You know, for our bullets, it'd be better if ours is smaller. That way, you know, if it grazed by us, it kind of, you know, appeals more towards the player. Or the other way around, if we wanted to put a box collider on the enemy and make it a little bit bigger than the enemy.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
But with a mesh, you don't have the choice. It's just...
It is what it is.
Yeah, it wraps around there. So this is going to have some... This turret is going to need some code. We're going to need code for destroying it first. I think that's the first thing we'll do. And then later on, we can give it some health. But for right now, let's destroy it. So we're going to go to the parent, turret, and we'll click add component in the bottom, whatever you want to call it. Tower script, turret script, whatever you want to call it. Sweet. And just, yeah. Is we're going to create a function that will tell when this thing got hit. So I don't know what you want to call it, but I called mine got hit. That's up to you.
Hey.
And, open and close your prints. Great. And yeah, we'll call it a void. Actually, no.
Oh, this is going to be a Boolean, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it will. What we'll do now is let's use it. So on line 16, let's say if, parentheses, we'll wrap it in an if statement. And we could do some stuff later on with it. Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
That's great. All right, cool. So inside of got hit, first thing is collider, which is an array. So yeah, actually with a capital C, sorry. This is a specific data type. Sorry. Open.
No, it was just not showing up in IntelliSense, so I wasn't sure.
Got it. And then open and close parens, because it's an array. Or I'm sorry, not parens, but square
Brackets.
Yeah, there you go. And we're gonna call it hit colliders outside of the brackets, because it's an array, and so we're instantiating an array of colliders, and we'll call it hit colliders.
Like equals hit.
Well, not yet. So we're actually gonna get rid of the equal sign for me. Yeah, just hit colliders right now, because the data type is an array of colliders, and we're calling that variable hit colliders. And now we're gonna equal it to something. Equals capital P physics dot capital O overlap lowercase l lap and then capital B box. There you go. Yeah, overlap box. And then we're gonna open parentheses because it is a function.
Like on my knees?
Yeah, it's well, not quite on, but a little bit over your lap. Yeah. And open a paren. Then we're gonna do this dot transform dot position. And we're gonna do comma this dot transform dot lowercase l local scale capital S times, let's call it box size, and we're going to put box size in our so it'll be below line 6. Well, now actually, so that's our class declaration. We want to go outside of that. There you go. That's the one right there. Awesome. And let's make it a float. Box size. Cool. Let's do like a 4.5 or 4. Yeah, 4. And then we can adjust it around. Let's see as we fit.
Very picky. Picky.
Yeah, cool. So we got our box size. And then we need some more. We're going to have the rotation of that overlap box, which will just be comma capital Q quaternion dot identity. And now we're doing a layer mask, which we haven't set up yet. So we'll do comma, and our layer mask is going to be what are bullets, or what is bullets. And this is where we define what bullets are. Right, so that's everything. Yeah, DACA, right. Because DACA.
So what is an overlap box?
Yeah. So before we had a, like a Physics.RayCast. This is like that, where in that ray, for us, it was shooting down, looking for the ground, right? And that was, we set a layer mask that said, what is ground? And it's just that laser point, which I think we made at 1.2, 1.1 was the length of it, right? And it's just a single point. Here we're making an entire box, and we have to tell where it's going to be, what the size of it's going to be. I said transform dot local scale because it uses a vector. What we could have done that might be a little bit easier, that's why I was kind of hesitant. We could do vector 3 dot 1, which is 1, 1, 1, and then multiply that by box size. But that's the size that we're going to be using for this entire thing, because it needs a vector. It needs to know the x and the y and the z. Where do you want it to be? And we'll multiply that by box size.
So we're making the collision box for the tower,
Yeah.
but I thought we already made that with the whole like the
Yeah, that's a good point.
mesh collider. Isn't that the point of the mesh collider?
Well,
What's the difference?
The mesh collider is good for if the tank is to actually run into the turret while it's traveling through. If it doesn't shoot it but it hits it, we don't want it to go through it. We want it to stop and have a collision. But
what's the difference between that and the bullet?
So the bullet is just going to detect that it has an impact. We can actually change it. Is the point? It gives us some more flexibility. With the turret, when we have the tank collide with it, we want the tank to go right up against it. If that were to hypothetically happen, it's very unlikely. But the bullet, we want it to be a little bit out. We want it to be we want to lean a little bit more towards the player and have it to where it, if we can adjust it or make it a little tight if you wanted to. If you want to say this game,
got you.
I want it to be real tight. It gives us the flexibility to separate those two things. And it's actually more accurate. Do you remember how our jump function before, when we first got it, it used the character, what's it called? Character controller, which has a collider, and it looked for the collision on the ground, and it was kind of off and not quite as precise as we wanted it to be. Remember how we were jumping and character controller.isGrounded was off, and it wasn't very consistent, right? It'll work just fine for a tank that's moving slowly into a turret, not a problem. But for stuff like ground detection, for hitting the jump, that we need it to be more precise, or in our case, for the bullet colliding with a turret, we want it to blow up now.
Okay.
And no hesitancy. Yeah, overlap box is more expensive, way more expensive.
Gotcha.
But that's expensive put in the right spot.
Cool.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Cool. So let's go back. Let's make our layer box, and we need to set what is bullets, or what are bullets. Way up in the top, we'll do. Actually, we're going to put on line. You keep wanting to redefine that class. We're going to do on line 8. We're going to public layer mask, capital L. And we'll call it. Actually, if you hit enter, there you go. What are bullets? And that would be fine. That'll give us that drop down. What is DACA? I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. Because I'm with the times. I understand things and references, pop culture references.
It's not really. Don't worry, you're fine.
I'm with the previous times. I'm old. All right, what are we doing?
I mean, that reference is kind of like.
It says line 27. What is DACA? Doesn't exist. Might be a spelling thing.
What is DACA?
It says line 27 is where it's having the problem. Cool, that got rid of that one. Good job. Turret script got hit. Not all nodes return a value. That's fine. So let's go into that function real quick. And at the very bottom, actually, we didn't quite finish. Let's keep going. So we're going to create a for loop right here. This will be the first time we've done that. So for int I equals 0. Before your int, I'm sorry, we need to open up parentheses. I guess I shouldn't assume that you know everything.
I don't know the syntax for this.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I love for loops. I am the biggest for loop fan. Anytime I can have a while loop, I cut it out. I put a for loop in instead. Huge.
Oh yeah, fan. While loops suck, bro.
Exactly. And
for loops are where it's at.
For int I equals 0, I is less than hit colliders dot length. Since this is an array. Now length is actually a capital L. Yeah. Sorry. Semicolon I plus plus. So now I absolutely agree with you, is that that one should definitely be a lowercase L. There's no reason for that to be a uppercase L.
Thank you.
Yeah, that one I'm gonna give you that one. Okay, capital D, destroy.
Oh, I love capital D, destroy.
Yeah, hit colliders. So open paren. Sorry, it's a function. Yeah, we're putting an argument.
I don't like it as much anymore, but
hit colliders, brace or bracket. Excuse me, bracket. Sorry, square bracket. Is it bracket?
Yep.
Okay. I in the middle. Yep. And then dot outside of there, we'll do dot game object. So what we're doing is we got our hit colliders array, and we're saying at index I, destroy it. And we'll semicolon.
It has a bunch of different parts to it that we're destroying, right? Not just the whole thing all at once.
Yeah, well, many objects that it's colliding with. If the player mashes the fire button, bam, 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 and we've got, you know, our collider here, our physics box that we created, and the bullets are coming, and it's detecting. This should never happen, honestly, because things are moving so fast. But let's say this happens, right? So we've got bullets 1 and 2 are inside of here. So this one didn't quite make it, so let's get that out, right? So now it's got 2 colliders in its array, and it's got 2 bullets that it's going through. In our case, it probably won't need it. We can say hit colliders at position 0, and it's realistically going to be just fine. But for here, this is just making sure that we've got everything covered, all of its bases. In most cases, you could run off of hit colliders 0.gameObject, and you'd be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it really shouldn't have it would mean in one single frame, you've got multiple bullets within the box.
Yeah,
it should
sure.
never happen, but
I got an itchy trigger finger.
Yeah, you do. So now this is really cool. We're going to get a little tricky here. We're going to say on line 32, we're going to get outside of the for loop now. We're all done with for loop. Yeah, there you go.
So that just gets rid of the bullets?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
now we're going to destroy the tower.
Yeah. Well, not quite. We just return if it got hit or not. That's it.
Oh.
Sorry. It's not that exciting. So we're going to return, and this is really interesting. We're going to open a parentheses, and we're going to say hit colliders.length. Yeah, perfect. Capital L length. Greater than symbol, and then 0.
Ah, I get it. So it's like if there's more than one bullet.
Yep.
True.
And
okay.
A Boolean turns down. It's just a binary. It's 0 or 1. So if hit length is 0, it'll return 0, which is false.
Okay.
Great. So let's just make sure we're good. Let's save it. And we have one thing we need to do. We didn't tell it what bullets are. So we're going to go to our turret tower. And our
drag.
Well, before we do that, yeah, we can create the prefab. We don't need to. One tower for right now is fine. We need to create the layer for bullets.
Ah.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet. So let's click on our oh my goodness.
Remember how to do this.
There you go. Bullet.
DACA,
I meant to say. And then now we need to assign 2 things.
Yes, we need to go and do things.
So first we'll go to the bullet.
Or
DACA, excuse me.
Layer.
Yep.
DACA.
Okay.
Oh, why did the thing change like that?
It's perfect. That's great.
Okay.
That is kind of weird.
That's super strange, but that's fine.
And then we'll do the next one in the turret. We'll set what is... Sometimes when you play and unplay, it fixes a lot of stuff. Actually, we don't need to add one right now. It's okay. We don't need a turret layer.
Oh, we just need the what is DACA to be
there
DACA.
It is. You got it. And
Gotcha.
We'll save it.
Oh, I messed up.
Cool. And then we'll save it. So let's unplay, and we're going to head back to the script. We're going to do my I don't know. I had that instinctive thought. Let's go for it. On line 27, where it says this transform local scale. Yeah, there you go. Let's change that to vector 3.1. Let's just the whole thing. Yeah, there you go. Capital V vector 3.1. I'm sorry, ONE. Yeah, all your variables. You always want to avoid numbers in your variables. Yeah, perfect. Cool. We'll go outside of line 35. Let's add a new let's add a new function. This is going to be similar to what we did on our raycast. We're going to call this one on draw gizmos. So void, capital O, open and close parens, open and close braces, no arguments. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. All right, capital G, Gizmos.UID. lowercase c color equals capital C color dot red lowercase r. Look at that syntax. That capital is all over the place. New line. Capital G Gizmos dot capital D DrawWireCube. All right, and then parentheses. I'm going to say this dot transform dot position. We're going to copy what we have on line 27. So this transform position vector 3 dot, but not the whole thing. Yeah, vector 1 times box size is what you need in there, and that's it. You don't need the rotation. You just skip it.
Oh, so we're just trying to see how big the box is?
Yeah, you got it. That is it. That's the whole shenanigans. Yeah, perfect. That's it. So then we can head over to Unity. And then I don't think we have gizmos clicked on. If you look on your scene view, if you click on the word gizmos, it's kind of, yeah, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, that looks a little big.
2?
Yeah, that is interesting though. If you notice, it's low. And if hypothetically our bullet's a little bit above, if it happens, then that could be a problem. So we want to make sure that we edit that, I think.
So how do we fix this?
Let's go into the script at the starting position. So we're going to do this in both circumstances where it says this dot transform dot position. Yeah, right there. We're going to say plus vector 3 dot up. Yeah, lowercase u. That's perfect. I'm not sure. Let's leave it. Let's just see what happens as that way. And then I see where you're going with that. I think we will need to do that.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if 1 was enough or not, you know?
Yeah. We're on the same page. Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
Cool. That looks gold. That's golden.
Shablamo.
Cool. Awesome.
Do we still need this?
Yeah, let's just leave it. It's fine. It doesn't hurt anything.
Or that won't show up in the actual game or anything?
No. That's that question. So now we've got bullets get destroyed when they hit this object. Next video, we're going to have it to where the turret will flash white like it's been hit. And then after a certain amount of hits, it'll die.
Nice.
And we can even bring an explosion in too, which would be pretty cool.
I do. You know me.
I do know you.
I like explosions.
I really like what you did to your beard. I think it was the beard.
Yeah.
I think it really cleaned things up.
Really it helps.
It kind of makes you look, I don't know, wiser, older. You know?
I thought it made me look younger.
Gives you some age. All
Interesting.
right. We'll see you in the next video. What is... Huh. I don't know how long we've been recording for. It's weird.
I can push you inside my robes. Would you like to be inside my robes? I bet that sounds wonderful.